Right from the beginning, the town had put in place an emergency management team. It included the Board of Health, the town administrator, selectmen, the fire chief, the police chief, and as well as myself for the Council on Aging, which was wonderful because every day I was on top of what's going on, what we can do for the seniors. Keeping them informed was a priority for the town because communication was the big thing back then. And so I think we did really well with that. Right out the gate, it seemed that, okay, people wanted to know what was happening, what was going on. The feedback that I was getting, it was gonna maybe be a few weeks, a month, 6 weeks at most. So let's just make sure everybody has, enough food, water, their medications. We made sure that that was the top priority. And the big joke was everybody needed toilet paper. So we literally were getting phone calls for toilet paper. So then the medical facilities started to shut down and people couldn't get to their doctors, and that was starting to change. The grocery stores were becoming more challenging. We were able to bring people to the grocery stores, but then we were starting to educate them on getting home deliveries. But it became very clear that the social and isolation is the issue, especially when, yes, virtually we were all starting to learn to morph into virtual communications. That's not really the way that as we've aged, it's about being in the room with someone, and that's what is really difficult. Right now we've officially opened, but to select groups as far as planned. And so with every step and progression in the phases, departments and buildings getting ready to open would meet with the task force, run through our game plan, and they would help us and guide the town with what was the best action to take. It went from the senior center should probably be the last building to open, so we're going to work that way, to oh my gosh, it's really becoming prevalent that the seniors need a place to gather. We need to make that a priority. Physically, we did some changes into the building to make everybody feel safer. We added hand washing stations. We put in some Dutch doors. We put in hydration stations, took out the water bubblers. It was all about less touch points. From that point, once we got to that stage, then it was, okay, what kind of groups can we have in here? We are now having exercise groups, quilting groups, and chat groups in. Those are mostly so there's not a lot of touching and passing of things. Also, board meetings, we'll have those. All with socially distancing, masks are required. Safety is the first priority. Unfortunately, we had to limit numbers, so it all depended on the room that they were in as to the number of people we could have. So we had to follow that, which is difficult because the senior centers were never developed that way. They were developed to come in, have fun, groups or organized events, but for the most part it's come and go as you please. Now it has to be, okay, we need to know who's coming, we need to have it timed, and we're trying to have it so this group's meeting at this side of the building, another group's meeting on another side of the building. There's not a lot of that exchange that they're so used to. We called all instructors and group leaders first to get a gauge on how they felt about coming in and conducting their groups. We got some feedback from them, and we also told them what the procedure was going to be for the safety end of it, and then we got the established 9 groups. From there, we then started calling all the participants, and we told them this is how it was going to be run. We sent them out a waiver so that they could understand the importance of the safety. So we're getting about 50% that are willing to come right now. And the groups that are coming, they are apprehensive and a little nervous, but they're all very willing to follow the procedure and they understand. Hope is seeing people adapt and seeing people that maybe were more set in their ways starting to come to the understanding that if I just make a few adjustments, I can, continue on with life and we can continue having fun. And it pains my heart to see the younger kids going through this right now because they are missing out on some socialization and excitement, being at school and doing all those fun things. It pains me for the seniors that they are losing that socialization. So the fact that I can be a part of helping that at least gives me hope that we're going to turn this around, because now just by opening the center a little bit and seeing the interest, people do want to get back out there. We want it to go back to normal, but we want everybody to be safe. So this is my second act. It's very healthy for people to reinvent and re-evolve some of your ideas and passions. So it became apparent to me while I was going for my degree. I've always leaned toward the senior population, and it just evolved into where I am today. For me, what good came out of it is getting back in touch with nature and having that extra time. I think after work is starting to do some self-care, something that I've always promoted for other people, but never really turned on myself. I would always want to take care of somebody else first, and so I am starting to learn that at my age finally, to do some self-care. So I think everybody needs to be, and I don't want to call it selfish. It's not selfish, because if you're not healthy or you're not doing something good for yourself, you can't be good for anybody else. Oh my gosh, I'm excited to have all the seniors back for our big lunches. Find out what they've been doing for the last, it'll be a year almost at this point that we'll have gotten together. But people are getting together in smaller groups, but that is the new normal for right now. But I'm excited to have just that center be alive again. I would like to say to any of the Kingston seniors out there that we miss you terribly. The entire staff has been working really hard to get you all back. So even if you just want to come in and just meet new friends, or call up a few friends and say, hey, let's go book the center, and we'll book a room and we'll get together and just sit and talk. We're developing more programs from that. We're going to do some crafting. So if you're bored at home and you want to get out, we're come to the center and just sit around and chat with us. So keep smiling, keep your sense of humor, and call us anytime if you need a laugh or you need any help. We're there for you. We're just looking forward to seeing you all, and we will see you very soon.